Enough of the news. Glad you can join us, and welcome to the P.G.M show.
3 months have passed, and Ellie and Joel find themselves in a place where Joel's trying to find his brother after the horrific events of Sam's death by the hand of his older brother Henry, and Henry sadly shot himself because he couldn't handle killing his younger brother Sam, because Sam got infected and started turning a horrible state of affairs, sad and horrific. So they end up in what the game was New Jackson. So they were in Jacksonville. And in the game, they walk until they find a hydro dam. And because this is where Joel finds his brother Tommy. In the game, they come up across a big, huge steel door. And in that door, behind is a hydro plant. A hydro plant really is being looked after and maintained and fixed up for power by Joel's brother, Tommy. So it's a reunion, a huge, heartfelt reunion on seeing Tommy again. And that's where we will start the game and then continue talking about, yes, how the changes were made, but how they stayed the same in this amazing HBO original Last of Us series. So, stay with me, and we'll take a look and talk about episode 6 of The Last of Us. 3 months pass, and Joel and Ellie, this is the game version, Joel and Ellie are walking to find Tommy. Tommy is located in a place called Jacksonville. So they're walking and getting to know each other relatively easier. That for this horrific event, they kind of bond, really. I mean, Ellie's trying to whistle and Joel is saying, "What are you doing?" and almost joking with her in the fact that, she can't whistle at all. So there's that. And then there are, when they get to the dam through climbing down a bank and into the river, they have to actually cross a hydro dam bridge, and so they do that. So they climb and they walk across this bridge, and it's teamwork. Now, when this teamwork is over, that means they have to walk up these stairs, and they get to a certain point where there is big gates, and they really try to get in, but they are held up by guns on this platform bearing down on them. And then, the game stops, because really you're playing a walking game, and then the game stops, and there's a woman and saying that, "Who are you?" and Tommy stops him and says that don't shoot them, and then opens the door because he's my brother, and it's Tommy. So when they get into the place where Tommy is and his men and the workers, they are seemingly working on a hydro dam to get power for New Jackson, and Joel has been, Ellie has not seen at all and doesn't know it exists, but they need power. So in this sense, when Joel shows when Tommy shows Joel around, and at that instance that Ellie saying, no, don't leave me here with Tommy's wife, that really got introduced by Tommy then and there to Joel, that Joel just said, don't worry, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It'll be okay. I mean, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to talk to Tommy. You know, he didn't say anything he was going to talk about with Tommy at all. And then when the question asked by Joel, he said sure. Tommy said sure. So there was a tour, and then they go through the plant, the hydro plant, dam plant, and then they get it up and running, and then they go off into, let's say, Tommy's office in the hydro dam, and then they have a really heated discussion about Ellie, and Joel can't take her anymore. He doesn't want her anymore. Please, Tommy, take her off my hands. Almost threatens Tommy to actually take her off his hands because he doesn't want to have anything to do with her, and Tommy is probably best to actually take her to the university, and that's that. And they get really heated with each other, but then something happens, and that thing happens that they're under siege by this faction, and this faction is somehow killing off some of the men who've just fixed the dam, and so Joel and Tommy have to go into fight mode and fight off the factions who are bearing down on these men and the hydro plant. So all hell breaks loose. But once they get through that, Ellie is calling out to Joel, and so she's safe. So there is a little bit of inkling to this whole ordeal that Joel's a lot more concerned for Ellie's safety in this than he lets on. He doesn't want to have anything to do with her, but he lets on that, he's got to protect her. So there is this, how would I put this? There's this thing that he doesn't want to be a father figure to Ellie, but he has this father feelings towards Ellie, but he won't let them show to her, or anyone else for that matter. That's where the privacy comes into it. He says that, don't tell anybody. I mean, talk to your wife to actually do this. So when all this happens and Tommy is changing his mind and talking to his wife that he should be taking care of Ellie now and taking her to the university, Ellie just does not like it at all. So she heads off with horse and takes off, and then now
Is this really all they had to worry about? Boys, movies, deciding which shirt goes with which skirt. bizarre.
Get up. We're leaving.
And if I say no?
Do you even realize what your life means? Huh? Running off like that, putting yourself at risk, it's pretty goddamn stupid.
Well, I guess we're both disappointed with each other then.
What do you want from me?
Admit that you wanted to get rid of me the whole time.
Tommy knows this area
Oh,
better
fuck
than...
him.
Well, I'm sorry. I trust him better than I trust myself.
Stop with the bullshit. What are you so afraid of? That I'm gonna end up like Sam? I can't get infected. I can take care of myself.
How many close calls have we had?
Well, we seem to be doing all right so far.
And now you'll be doing even better with Tommy.
Not her, you know.
What?
Maria told me about Sarah.
Ellie?
And
You are treading on some mighty thin ice here.
I'm sorry about your daughter, Joel. But I have lost people too.
You have no idea what loss is.
Everyone I have cared for has either died or left me. Everyone fucking except for you. So don't tell me that I would be safer with someone else, because the truth is I would just be more scared.
You're right. You're not my daughter. And I sure as hell ain't your dad. We are going our separate ways. Get it together. We're not alone. I got two walking in. There's more inside already.
Joel and Tommy just about to actually rid of some other faction that's in the vicinity of New Jackson, that they are holed up in this house, and that's where Allie is. They take down at least 5 to 6 of these faction guys, whoever they are, who just want maybe Joel, Tommy and Ellie dead for interrupting what they're doing or living, and I don't know, just set out to do senseless marauding killings of, you were on my patch of land, get off, let's say. Joel, yes, defeats them easy enough with his weapons, and then they go out, and then when all is safe, get on their horses and ride off. Now, when they're trotting down a track, Joel is in a sense of, let's say, guilt, to say the least, in what he said to Ellie. I really don't think he meant it. I really think he was remorseful of the hurtful things he said to Ellie. But I think he also knew the truth, that he didn't like the truth thrown at him with this girl he hardly knows almost, but that he treated as cargo. And as Ellie looks very sad, very alone in that state of mind, that's what my opinion goes to, it's what my feelings invoke, that Joel just does not care about Ellie. And I think at this stage now, this moment in time, is the realization that Joel does care for Ellie. It's a turning point. It's a strong turning point in the game's arc and journey, that Joel finds himself that he has to get Ellie to the fireflies. He has to get Ellie to the university. And that's where they're heading. They're heading to the university. So when they arrive and Tommy introduces them both to Jackson, or New Jackson, Joel says to Ellie, get off the horse, and asks Tommy if he can use the horse. Can he have the horse? Can he borrow the horse? And Tommy asks the question, what are you doing, Joel? And Joel basically answers Tommy that, where is this university? What direction do I take to get to this university? And Tommy says, look, basically, you are my brother. I love you as my brother. You're always welcome here. You've always got a home here. And that the sense of love and the sense of really taking care of somebody that really he's grown fond of. And I'm talking about Joel here and Ellie. It's beautiful too. And not thought of cargo anymore. She's not thought of cargo anymore. I head to now the HBO series. And a lot of things, of course, changed in this series because really it kind of had to, just to carry the series and make it fuller and thresh it out more and make it whole, make it a story arc, make it make sense more of a story instead of the characters playing a game and just being a game. And we all know that, of course, who is watching this marvelous series on HBO, The Last of Us, with Pedro Pascal as Joel Miller and Ellie. Ellie played by name just escaped me just for a second here. Bella Ramsey, there we go. Sorry about that. Oh, my mind. So scatterbrained sometimes for a 51-year-old. Anyway, where was I? It gets to a point that we see a rabbit being picked up by somebody, and I thought this was Joel hunting for food. They've camped somewhere, but it's really not. Then we find ourselves in a small cabin far off in the wilderness where Joel is got a gun on this American native woman who's a wife to this man who comes into the cabin, and they've been living there for quite some time, it looks like. But Joel's asking the question, do you know this man, Tommy? And they really don't know, or they do know and not giving him an answer. They don't want to really know anything or tell anybody anything. And then Ellie comes down the stairs and Joel says no, and she comes down the stairs anyway. So, and she's quite wild and almost threatening these people to say that, do you know this man? They're not telling the truth, Joel. And really the story goes, they give them an answer to say that you don't want to cross this lake because this lake is full of maybe infected or clickers or some faction or something like that. But so they're quite wary. But the thing is that they go anyway, and with Ellie nicking a rabbit off the hook outside the cabin, she's got food for them. But you see, and Joel, he's I I don't know what they're actually making Joel out to be, if he's got a sickness or something like that, because he gets these seizures that he can't hear. It's ringing in the ears for him. He's stooped down. He looks sick, and maybe they've created a condition for him. I don't know. For this Joel, but we'll soon find out what is happening with Joel, and maybe the last episode coming up, episode 7. But when they get across to the lake, that Ellie points out, maybe that's what they're talking about. This is the lake that across the lake that they were talking about. So they get held up by horses surrounding them, and a dog sniffing and searching around if they're actually infected or not. But there's a sense of Joel doing this this hearing zinging in his ears, this welling up inside, maybe that there's danger and he can sense it, or something or rather like that. But when the dog finds out both of them haven't got infection in them, and Ellie's all right too, because she's been told to actually take about 5 steps back from Joel, and then the dog sniffs her, and without question the dog is licking her face. So there is that. But they are taken to where apparently Joel is fixing up a house or a building of some sort, and Joel recognises his brother from a long time ago, and then they embrace. And then you could say they're in New Jackson, as Ellie and Joel are introduced to Tommy's wife, as to Joel wanting to talk to Joel privately, in a scene where we didn't see this in the game, of course, that they were sitting around at the table eating, and Ellie eating so fast because she really hasn't had a really good cooked meal, hot meal, probably for a long time, because she was scoffing it down. And Joel probably hasn't either, but really to say that Joel wanted privacy because this is a family matter, because he wanted to discuss Ellie, or even Ellie not to be there either, that well, Tommy just said, well, this is family. She is family, and this is my wife. So when they finished up, that Joel almost indicated, well, I wanted to talk to my brother privately. Don't worry, go with Tommy's wife. She'll take care of you. Don't worry. Again, you'll be safe. You'll be safe here. You'll be safe with her. And then Joel and Tommy go off into a bar or New Jackson and have a couple of stiff drinks. The thing is, the conversation in this bar with the new surroundings and new scene, it really worked. To have Joel not wanting to actually have Ellie at all, she's just cargo, and Tommy's probably got the means to actually take care of Ellie more than Joel has at this point, because maybe he just thinks she's just cargo at the moment. Tommy can probably provide her with the means to get out to the university, and he's got more manpower around him, maybe that, or maybe he just doesn't want to have anything to do with Ellie anymore. He just wants to go on his way and live his life wherever, and not have this burden on his shoulders. So Tommy says, no, my place is here. My place is my family. I'm having a baby. He's having a child. there's no way in hell he's gonna give that up. And so Joel storms out because he didn't get the result he was looking for. Now, there is this scene where Ellie gets her hair cut by Tommy's wife. And this is interesting because it gives a little bit more of a dynamic. But she's never had a mother figure before. And really, this Tommy's wife has this overall sense of, you could say, bolshiness in her, to be a mother, or to say that you really need a haircut, you really need to do this, you really need to do that, you really need to listen to me, because she doesn't really know who Ellie is, so she's a little bit forceful in that nature. And in that nature that she's a little bit untrustworthy of Ellie, what she's doing here, who is she really? And the fact remains that Ellie does not give anything away, nothing at all, absolutely nothing at all, except for what she needs to know. I mean, what Ellie needs to tell Tommy's wife what she needs to know, and that's it. Nothing else, nothing at all. But she gets the haircut done. She's Ellie again. She's a little bit more. She's apprehensive in her feelings towards this woman who doesn't.
Is this really all they had to worry about? Boys, movies, deciding which shirt goes with which skirt. It's bizarre.
Listen,
Why are you here?
I came here to talk to you.
No, why are you still here? If you're gonna ditch me, ditch me.
What exactly did you hear?
I have to leave her, you have to take her. You know, I stood up for you today because I thought...
I made this decision for your own good. You'll be way better off with Tommy. He knows the area better than I do.
Do you give a shit about me or not?
Of course I do.
Then what are you so afraid of? I'm not her, you know. Maria told me about Sarah and...
No. Don't say another word.
I'm sorry about your daughter, Joel. But I've lost people too.
You have no idea what loss is.
Everybody I have cared for has either died or left me. Everybody fucking except for you! So don't tell me that I'd be safe with somebody else, because the truth is, I would just be more scared.
You're right. You're not my daughter. And I sure as hell ain't your dad. Now come dawn, we're going our separate ways.
With this scene of the HBO Last of Us. There's seen so much change in the dynamic of the emotions that Joel in the game is coming in more vicious and more angry at Ellie to see and why and what are you doing? Why did you do this? Why did you run away? To invoke that pain of losing loved ones along the way and not having a father figure and not, don't leave me kind of feeling that really gets in the game, gets Joel angry when Ellie confronts him with Sarah's death and having not had a life with a daughter or not having that life. And then Joel's coming in quieter and saying that you'd be better off with Tommy and you'd be better off here without me. And then again coming in very softly but very also angry at the fact that they've still got this essence of the scene from the game, but it invokes a more of a different emotion. But it's the same essence of that emotion of you ditching me, you're leaving me here, Joel. Why on earth are you leaving me here? There is no trust in there. I think the indecision of Joel here in the series is prevalent. He doesn't know whether to actually help her. He doesn't know whether to actually stay with her. And he doesn't know whether to actually leave her behind and go on his own way. And that's just indecisiveness. But as we keep on going in this episode, he really doesn't. He finds the almost compassion for her to actually stay with her, to actually, in the series, he's there in the stables taking care of the horse where Tommy was about to actually take her to or travel to the university. And then Joel's in there getting ready the horse, and then he's gonna take care of Ellie. And he does. He borrows Tommy's gun that Tommy has on his shoulder, and then they get going to the university. In the game, it's the factor of that sorrowfulness, that guilt feeling, that sadness, that he's really got to make a decision, and his decision is also compassion. It relies on compassion. It relies on, I've got to take care of this girl and get this girl to the Fireflies. She's not a package anymore. She's not a piece of cargo. This is a real tangible relationship that is growing ever so more into being a father-daughter relationship. So the last part of it is really, and I will only talk about now the Last of Us HBO series, is Ellie and Joel at the university. They turn up at the university and they see all these monkeys, and because they're all scientific kind of monkeys that the scientists were doing operations on, or scientific things on, and they're all running around free and everything. Everybody's gone, and they're searching around for information on maybe where the Fireflies have gone. I mean, they see a Fireflies symbol up on a sign, and then but no one's there. Absolutely no one's there except the monkeys. Until about 3 to 4 men armed with guns and knives and what have you are coming in, really coming in. So they've probably seen Joel's and Allie's horse outside, parked on a tree, and then a skirmish hits. Joel manages to actually kill one guy, but this guy shoves a knife into Joel's stomach, and then they get onto the horse, and then they ride away, and they get away with Ellie saying that I don't think they're following us, and they're on train tracks, and then Joel falls off the horse with Ellie left alone watching Joel. She's scared he's gonna die right in front of her because she doesn't want to be left alone. She can't do this on her own. She's panicking, so she's trying to wake Joel up. It's bleeding out, of course, in his wound, and I've always wondered how she got her to the house. I mean, that's where we're going next, is the house, where she's taking care of Joel. But we'll get there in episode 7. And really, that happens in the game practically the same. With the Ellie taking Joel under, his arms slinked around Ellie's neck and sometimes guiding Joel to actually wake up and don't collapse on me, don't die on me now. And then it happens differently, but they get away. They get away and from these guys shooting still, and then he collapses. And next moment you see Ellie in a garage, but we'll get there, of course. So I hope you enjoyed that. This was meant to go out last night, but I had something to do. I wasn't feeling too good either, so I'm bringing it to you tonight, or whenever this uploads on my channel. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed this episode. Again, I love talking about this show, and I love playing the game of The Last of Us. It is brilliantly acted by Pedro Pascal. It's brilliantly acted by Bella Ramsey and all the actors as well around them. The sets or the locations are just stunning. It shows a world of survival, and it shows a world of post-apocalypticness in it, or apocalyptic in it, if you want to leave out the post. But it dirty, gritty, and ruthless and brutal, and feeling of alone, feeling of sadness, death, smell of death, killing mercilessly, you know what I mean, killing without question, let's say, and so good. I mean, Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann are doing a wonderful job, with directors as well, taking the story through be number one show really around the world, and we get it here in New Zealand on Neon. So check that out if you are listening to this me rant on or talk on, or if you're listening to me, it's on HBO Max, you guys in the UK or the USA or wherever you are, Canada maybe, so I thank you. Please like, please subscribe, please share, maybe hit that notification bell too. Much appreciated if you would do that. Anyway, until I see you on the next one, or you hear me on the next one, take care of yourselves out there. Stay safe wherever you are. God bless you all. And until then, I'll see you later.